Hey guys, Merry Christmas to you all. Sorry that the room's not looking very festive, but to be honest with you, money's been tight, and as I say, this is only a temporary sort of accommodation, as it were. So I didn't really see the point. But it's been a mad time at work, particularly last week. And I've actually been doing two people's jobs because I was covering for a colleague of mine who was off sick for 3 weeks as well as doing my own job. So yeah, it's been quite stressful. So if the videos have been a bit infrequent, I'm afraid that's because of work commitments and coming home exhausted. And now the madness is over for at least 48 hours until I go back on Monday. But there you go. It'll be an exchange refund city when I go back to Monday. But hey. But anyway, I thought I'd do a quick video as I normally do for Christmas. Normally it's about my builds and so forth, as it has been in the past. But as you well know, I had to move out, and unfortunately I'm in a place where I can't do any building because I just haven't got the space. So it's just been a case of having to do inbox review after inbox review after inbox review to keep you guys entertained. But even that might be coming to an end soon because I'm getting to a stage now where I'm starting to run out of space. So those videos may stop possibly sometime this year, this coming 2022, and then I may well be taking a break from YouTube for a while until I'm in a position whereby I am in a property where I can actually get back and active to the hobby, which I will do at some stage, I promise you. So when that'll be, who knows? So it's not goodbye from me yet, or goodbye from him, as they used to say in the two Ronnies, because I've still got a fair old few inbox reviews to do as and when I get the time. So don't worry, I'm not disappearing yet. Anyway, having said that, I thought I'd do not just a normal Christmas message, but just give you a little oversight over some of the acquisitions I've had over the last, say, 2-3 months. Not many, but well, there's a few. I mean, a few of them I've done inbox reviews, which you've seen, but there's a few here I've recently bought, and I thought I'd run through them with you, really. And also what I got for Christmas. So yeah, from my brother. So there you go. Anyway, first off the block is an aircraft which is a particular favourite of mine during the Second World War, and it was really the underdog to the Spitfire during the Battle of Britain. But I've always been after a very early version of this aircraft, and I did try and get one in 148, but the price they were offering for it on Special Lobby was just it's too expensive. So I ended up getting a 72nd version of it. It is, of course, the Airfix 172nd Early Mark 1 Hurricane with the twin de Havilland rotor. It's of an aircraft that was stationed with the BEF from September 1939 right up to Dunkirk. Yeah, as I say, I've always wanted to get an early version of the Hurricane, and this is the boy. And I only actually got this through the other week for about £6 off eBay. And I thought, well, you know, you can't get a 148 version of it, so settle for a 172nd version. And it actually features an aircraft of one squadron, based in northern France at Berry-au-Bon. I think that's how I pronounce it. Southern France, spring 1939, and there's your colour call out in the back. Now, we'll be doing an inbox review at this sometime, possibly in the new year. And hopefully that might be one of my first builds when I get back to building again. So we shall see. Following on from that, I recently got an A model kit of another significant aircraft in the de Havilland stablemate. It was the start of the Moth series of aircraft that they had, which ran up to the Tiger Moth, and it is, of course, the 148th A model DH-60C Moth. Now they also do the Puss Moth of Amy Johnson as well, so I've got my eyes on that, so I may well get that in as well. But as I say, I've had a quick look at it. It is a little bit basic. Probably needs some aftermarket just to boost it up a little bit. But I'm sure it'll build into a lovely little kit, so I'll be doing an inbox review of that at some stage. Okay. And then another iconic aircraft from about, well, I'd say 4 decades on from the Moth. It was a well-known US naval fighter bomber. It's been in loads of air forces throughout the world, and this particular version was one of the J models. You've probably guessed it's the Italeri 148 Phantom F4J. I actually had a look at the decals. They don't look too bad. You can also do a version of an RAF F4J Phantom of 74 Squadron. But I really want to build this into a naval aircraft, so I'm going to go and source some aftermarket decals with this, and possibly some aftermarket to boost up the cockpit and maybe some of the actual kit itself. Yeah, I've always wanted to have 48 Phantom in my stash, and there you go. I actually won this on eBay for about, what was it, £18 second hand. So yeah, that came in around about a couple of months ago. So yeah, I'll be doing an inbox review on that as well. I have to say, although there's not much to it, the detail on it as regards the panel lines and that is not bad, actually, not bad at all. So there you go. And then another iconic civil aircraft, and I remember seeing these at Heathrow when I was a youngster, always loud and smoky. It was one of the first aircraft to have an automatic landing system, again from the de Havilland stablemate, and it's just been recently reissued by Airfix. I'm trying to get a few of these in before they stop production again, because once they weren't in production they were going ridiculous prices, but I'm glad that Airfix re-released it. But there is only one slight flaw, and I'll explain that to you in a moment. And that is the Airfix Vintage Classics range, Hawker Siddeley Trident 1C. Does take me back to my childhood. I've got 2 of these in my stash now. Reason being is because I wanted to do one as the one is depicted on the box, but I'm not going to use the decals for that because the actual red is too dark, as opposed to what they did when they reissued the Vanguard. It just looks completely wrong. So I managed to get some aftermarket decals for the red tail version, and the second version, which is this, which I bought, is going to be in the markings of the old BEA Speed Jack scheme, which is the one that I remember from my childhood. I just love it. It looks so smart with that colour scheme on. You do have the option of doing it in the sort of mid transitional scheme as well for British Airways when they amalgamated in 1974 with BOAC and became British Airways. But I'm going to do it in the old traditional BEA variant. I just think it just looks such a classic colour scheme for that, and as you can see there's a better look at it. And this is actually produced by a company called 26 Decals, so now and again they do actually re-release some old retro colour schemes, and I just love that one. So I'm as and when I get around to building that, I'm going to do it in that scheme. I might even do it for the other one I've got in my stash as well, with the Trident 3B. So there you go. I should need to put that back in its packet, otherwise it's going to get lost. So give me 2 seconds here. But as I say, I remember seeing them at Heathrow in the old back in the day, alongside the BOAC 707s and VC10s and jumbos, what have you. To me, that was the ideal time for Heathrow. You had such a wide scope of aircraft there, you know, DC-10s, Caravels, DC-8s, DC-9s. As I say, the old 707 and the old 747-100s. I can't get it back in the bag, but never mind. So yeah, that's that one. And another fairly classic aircraft which I recently got in just about a month ago, and Vesta just recently issued it, is it's a twin engine jet. First entered BA service around about, I think they were mid-80s. And ironically actually did replace the Trident, and that's the Vesta 757-200. Now I am actually planning on doing that as a BA aircraft, possibly in the BA Landor scheme, and I might get another one in the future and do it in the old Nichols scheme, with the old British on the side. So yeah, should make for an interesting subject. I mean, the kit itself, you can actually have it as a modern version with the wingtips in the scheme that is depicted on here with Iceland Air, which, funny enough, they're still, I think they're only just retired. So yeah, she's a classic jet. A lot of them are now starting to be used as cargo transports, really. I know DHL have got a fleet of them as well, so that might be another option for the future. And then obviously moving on to another one. This is of a kit range F resin, and I've got one of their Trident 3Bs. This aircraft actually was on loan to BOAC back in the late 50s. It is, of course, F Resin's CL44. Unfortunately, there's a tragic story to it, because when it actually went back to trade winds in Canada after it had been leased with BOAC, it was lost on its, I think, second trip after it had been leased to BOAC, and all the crew, tragically, were actually killed in it. So, yeah, very tragic story, but I just love this colour scheme. It just looks so smart. It really does. What else have I got? Yeah, this one actually came in the other day. It was on a deal on Amazon for about, what, I think £15. I've been off sort of umming and ahhing about getting one. It's the old Naval space shuttle, specifically the Atlantis. I got this one for about, I think, £15. It's basically just the actual orbiter on its own. You can open up the actual the cargo bay, which you can see there. And there's some illustrations on the side of what the kit looks like. It doesn't look like it makes a pretty good kit. And you can also get the other one, which I think they've just issued a 40th anniversary one of the Columbia with the solid rocket boosters and so forth. Because I actually, believe it or not, remember the very first shuttle launch back in 1981. Showing me age there, but there you go. So yeah, I thought I'd get something a little bit sort of spacey, you know. And also there's a couple of more classic kits back into the sort of armour range, as it were. This one I got for about £7 for 3 months ago on eBay. It's the old 75mm anti-tank gun Pack 40L L46. I'm going to use that for a future diorama, maybe a Battle of France one, or Poland, I don't know. And I've got some figures along with it as well, which is the German machine gun infantry troops, which is one of the old classic range of Tamiya figures they do. There they are at the back, which is basically what the figures look like when they're built, painted and assembled. Not bad, but not brilliant, but not bad. I'm thinking about doing that for a possible thing that's got up here with the old Hanamag. So yeah. Did get a little bit of reading material as well. This I picked up at the Works, my local workshop. Believe it or not, I only got this for £4, and it's a book of a German soldier on the Eastern Front. It's his own personal account. So yeah, it's going to be made for interesting reading actually during the Russian campaign. So yeah, I mean, I've read some of the reviews. Apparently it's quite a gripping read, and that might be one for next year. And this one, I remember my father having this, and believe it or not, I got this for £6. Yeah, £6. It's actually Bill Horan's Military Modelling Masterclass. It's got a wealth of illustrations in there, and it's something I'm thinking of going into is figure modelling, particularly of the Napoleonic era. You've got all the illustrations there. I don't know if I can show you this, but you get a rough idea of how to paint them, some of the figures that this guy's built, and how to manipulate your figures and actually scratch build them as well. But I'd love to get to that sort of standard, wouldn't you? But yeah, it's a fantastic book. I mean, it's been published, first got published about 25 years ago. I did have it at one stage, and then obviously when I moved out from with my dad, a lot of stuff was got rid of, and this was it. And then I saw it the other day and thought, you know what, I'll get it again. It's only £6. It really is a brilliant read, and as I say, there's some brilliant illustrations of some figures there. So there you go. And another one which I actually got a few months ago when I saw Luke Carswell from Rifle Model Works get hold of one, and I thought, you know what, that'd make a nice little retro diary. And it's the old Tamiya Feld kitchen and scenery, which could make a nice one if you wanted to put it as though it was out in Russia or on the Eastern Front, or maybe during the Blitzkrieg, whatever. It's just an unusual subject, and I thought, well, why not, you know? So there you go. And then last two acquisitions, apart from what I got at Christmas. I saw Paul Bretland's review of this kit, and it has had a troubled recent history, this airliner, but I thought, you know what, I'm going to get one, because obviously my interest in civil aviation has actually been sort of rekindled, as it were, ever since I started watching Jerry Dwyer on Big Jet TV, who incidentally I'm watching today. I've put it on mute at the moment because he's live at Heathrow. But he sort of reignited my interest in civil aircraft and airliners and that sort of thing. And this aircraft just recently got reintroduced into service after the major computer problems that they had after a few crashes, and that's Vestas 737-8 Max. Now it's in the markings of the prototype, which was at Farnborough around, I think, the last Farnborough Air Show, which is about what, 2018. And I will probably source some aftermarket decals for this. I'm thinking of doing an Air Canada aircraft, or maybe TUI, I don't know, but I'll have a look out there and see what there is. But by the looks of it, it looks like a superb little kit, so I'll be doing an inbox review on that as well. And there's an illustration of what it builds up into, so it looks like a lovely little kit. So yeah, there you go. And finally, this one I got for a tenner. I saw it being advertised on Facebook, and I thought to myself, do you know what, any airliner stash would not be a proper airliner stash unless you had this iconic, beautiful aircraft. And the guy kindly kept it by for me for 2 weeks, because at the time I thought, well, it's silly to let it go at that price, and I thought, that's such a beauty, Mike, putting it aside for me because I have a YouTube channel. And he said, of course, no problem. And he got it out to me, and then within a day it was here. In fact, it was the day before Christmas Eve. And yeah, it's the Aerospatiale Airfix Concorde. Now, I know they've actually just reissued this kit and retooled it, but I thought, do you know what? Metallic details do one for the Naval kit, so I'm going to get the metallic details set for that, and that will boost it up. And if I can get hold of some aftermarket decals for the old BA Negus scheme, I'm actually going to build it as the Concorde that I visited with my dad at the Farnborough show in 1976, and that was GBBDG, Bravo Delta Golf, which, believe it or not, is now residing at the museum at Brooklands. So I'm gonna go do that and build it as that aircraft. Okay, I might get 2 more Concords later on, as in the Niga scheme, in the Landor scheme, which is depicted on this kit, or possibly the BA Trafalgar scheme, which was its last colour scheme it was in. And I might even get the 4th one, because I want to do that as an Air France aircraft, particularly the one that sadly crashed at Gonesse around about, hang on, where are we now? Nearly 22 years ago. So yeah, that's probably what I'm going to do. And I've also got one of the old Airfix prototype Concords, so I might well do that as a prototype as well. So basically, guys, that's what I actually got in over the last few months. But I'm going to finish on what I got from my brother for Christmas. Some absolutely awesome reading material. In fact, one of these I nearly bought in the Works bookshop the other night, but something told me not to. I'm glad I didn't. And it is John Nichols' Tornado, which is about how the aircraft was used during the first Gulf War. And obviously John Nichols was one of the 2 pilots that was shot down and captured by the Iraqis. And yeah, he certainly went through the mill on it. So it's about the aircraft, and it's about its service record during the Gulf War. So I'm particularly pleased that I didn't buy it the other night. So that's awesome, bro. Thank you very, very much. And he's also bought me another book, written by Wing Commander Mike Sutton on the Typhoon during its campaign out in Libya, or was it out in Croatia recently. So by all accounts, this is a brilliant book. I've had a quick flick through it, and it's got some awesome photographs in there. So yeah, it's going to be another good read for the new year. So there you go. And of course, for all you Star Wars fans out there, where did I put it? Here it is. He also bought me a Mandalorian calendar. I've not even seen the series yet, because unfortunately I'm not subscribed to Disney. But by all accounts, it's an awesome series. So there you go. So that is my rundown. And all I shall do now is raise a glass to you all, wish you happy Christmas, happy New Year, and I hope 2022 we can have a little bit more normality coming in, and hopefully we're going to start getting on top of this pandemic. So until then, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, stay safe, keep well, enjoy your Christmas, overindulge as much as you want to, and get kit crazy, and I'll speak to you soon. Take care. Cheers. I'm going to have a quick sip now. Perfect. See you guys soon. Take care. Cheers.